Welcome to the Africa Speaking Podcast. The podcast discusses critical issues about the African continent. It is brought to you by Toeza Communications in Nairobi.
Welcome to our episode. I am your host, Marceline Nyambala. Today we journey into Kibra to meet Khalid Munir Mohamed of Salama Youth CBO. He'll narrate how the often unseen strength and indigenous wisdom of the Nubian community are translating into powerful climate change mitigation efforts right in their own neighborhood. This is a story of local solutions for a global crisis. Karibu sana, our guest. Kindly introduce yourself. Tell us your name, the name of your organization, and what you do.
Yeah, my name is Khalid Munir, and I come from a community-based organization from Kibra called Salama Youth CBO. And our main activities are agroforestry and urban farming.
Salama Youth CBO, how many group members do you have? What are the ages, the age bracket of your members?
Currently, we have 15 good group members. Our group consists of young people, but we also have women and men that we work together.
Tell us, why Kibra? Why did you decide to work in Kibra?
We were born in Kibra, and the name Kibra actually refers to a forest in Arabic. So it used to be a forest before the settlement began.
You are a community that lives in Kibra. Maybe give us a little bit more background. What is the history of your community and the work that you're doing in Kibra?
Our ancestors, the Nubians, were fighting for the British Army. So they were brought in after the Second World War, and they were resettled in Kibra. So the name Kibra, actually it was derived from the environment. So Kibra in Arabic means forest. So it used to be a forest. And like now it has turned to be a slum. So that's how we found ourselves there until this generation. So we are trying to restore back the forest that used to be around here.
How did you now decide that it's climate change? You want to address issues. What were you seeing? What are the challenges? What were the issues that the Nubians and other people living in Kibra are faced with that now it inspired your group to decide that it is climate change that we want to
address? So Kibra used to be a forest, and it was a vast forest connected to the Ngong Forest and to the Karen surroundings. But now the issue of settlement came in, and almost all the trees were cut off. We don't have any more trees left, and there is pollution from every side. Air pollution, water pollution, land pollution.
What would you say about the river? How is the river running through Kibra?
Actually, Kibra used to be a forest with a clean running river inside it, the Nairobi River. So, unlike now, it has been polluted. There is air pollution, there is water pollution, there is land pollution. So our main objective actually was to try and restore it back to how it was. Currently, the situation is not very promising because the sewers are the ones that are running inside the river. So we are trying our best to restore back what we used to have.
Does it have many tributaries?
It runs across a section that goes straight from where I come from, Karanja. The river goes straight all the way through the slum, and then it ends up at Nairobi Dam. It's where most of the people, they throw their waste. You'll find also, because of the flow, it usually comes with a lot of garbage. The plastic waste, the very unhealthy things.
Who are the ones who are dumping garbage in the rivers?
Mostly the slum dwellers, because there is no proper way of handling the waste. So they end up throwing all the waste on the river and wait for the rain to come and clean it.
Your organization is one of the organizations in Kibra working on climate change, adaptation, and towards building resilience. If you could tell us some of the things that you are doing to improve the situation and try to address the crisis of climate in that area?
One of the main things we do is agroforestry, and we plant trees. We usually collect feeds from the mamambogas, the green waste. So we come and
maybe explain, maybe for the sake of the people who don't live in Kenya, who are mamambogas?
Actually, the people who sell vegetables. They sell vegetables on the kiosks. We collect the green waste from them, and then we go and dry them after 2 weeks, and then we feed them to the animals. Hence, we reduce the volume of the waste that is being taken to Dandora. We use the organic waste as food for the animals, and in tandem, the animals actually they produce the manure that we used to. We take it back to the farm, and we also plant crops for food. And we're using the urban new smart farming technologies. We have the hanging gardens. We have the corn gardens. We also do greenhouse. And we also do livestock management. We have bees. We do beekeeping, and we also do dairy goat farming, and rabbit. We also do rabbit keeping.
Maybe elaborate on the urban farming and the agroforestry.
Actually, we started this initiative in 2017, and our main focus we started with nursery establishment. So we were nurturing seedlings. So as we started growing, now we started doing crop farming. So the integration part of the forest and the farming began.
What work are you doing in terms of forestry?
We're doing restoration, actually, re-afforestation. So we nurture the tree seedlings, and then we plant them along the Ngong River, which is situated in Kibra.
And in terms of the urban farming and the gardens that you have, which crops are you growing?
We are specialized in growing kales and spinach and the other indigenous green leafy vegetables that are consumed locally.
And now, are you also selling the crops, or you use them in your households?
Actually, the crops, we usually use them for our own consumption, but in case we have extra, we sell them out to the community members.
Tell us more about the animals that you keep and the benefits.
One of the animals we rear, we keep rabbits. We keep them for the meat, and they also produce rabbit urine, which is very, very organic. We use it for fertigation. We don't use fertilizers, chemical fertilizers. So we use the rabbit urine, which is very rich in nitrogen. We use the rabbit urine as a repellent, actually. We spray it on the leaves to repel the insects. They end up bringing more strong crops.
And the bees, how many? Do you have apiaries? How many?
We have 5 hives. The honey actually is a medicine. It helps to deal with coughs and fever.
How often do you harvest?
One hive actually takes like 3 months to mature. So we alternate from one hive to another.
So after 3 months, you harvest?
It depends on the maturity of the hive.
Yeah.
So we get to extract the honey, and there are other byproducts we get from the honey. So like the beeswax, we put.
And how much honey does it produce?
One hive actually can produce from 7 to 10 kilograms of honey. And 1 kilogram goes for 1,500 shillings.
Wow. Those are very good initiatives for you to address climate, but also build a source of income.
Yeah.
And the goats?
Through the dairy goat farming, we feed the goats on leaves. So we milk the goats. Each day we can get like 3 liters. And 1 liter costs 300 shillings. So we have 900 shillings we save every day.
Which one is your biggest earner? What brings you money?
Currently, our biggest earner is the dairy goat farm, because they produce milk, and the milk is very nutritious.
You mentioned that the milk is medicinal.
Yeah, the milk actually, it's used to boost immunity to people who are suffering from cancer and HIV.
Oh, so there's a huge demand, eh?
Yeah.
So you're saying that in terms of from 2017, you've been able to be self-sustaining. And that's how you've built resilience in your community. And is there something that organizations like you are doing to address the issue about garbage?
We've been having some campaigns and sensitizing them on why not to throw the garbage there. And we've been trying to ask them to bring their garbage somewhere where we can segregate them. We can separate the plastic waste from the organic waste, and then the organic waste we can use it as compost, or also we can use the organic waste to feed the animals.
So what has been the response of the community so far to the work that you're doing?
Yeah, the community actually have responded very positively, because the space that we are occupying now used to be like a dump site. So we rehabilitated the place and we removed all the waste, and now we have transformed the place actually, and they're very happy about that.
So who allocated you the dump site?
Yeah, actually the dump site, we went to the chief's office, and we went and raised our concern. So they said we can proceed and do something that will be impactful to the community.
Oh, so you've been allocated by the administration.
By the authorities, yeah.
And how much do you work with the administration?
Yeah, we work closely with the administration because they are the ones who are supplying us with most of the tree seedlings. And they also help us with security when we're doing our activities, so that we can have no troubles.
Oh, wonderful. And in terms of partnerships, what can you say about the work?
We have had partners who have come to assist us in terms of capacity building. We have been trained on several ways of how we can segregate the waste, on how we can plant, we can have more harvest from the crops that we plant.
What about the way the houses are built? When it rains heavily?
There have been encroachment, really, because people have come up to the banks, they have built houses, and that is another impending disaster. When there is flooding, you see people lose their lives. So we're trying to come up with a solution whereby we can move the people a bit away from the rivers, and then we plant trees to help with the erosion, and maybe we can reduce on the effects.
You're talking about trying to move people from the banks. How willing are people to move?
People actually, they don't see the danger until it happens. So we're trying to bring the sensitization, to bring the awareness that this is an impending danger that is yet to happen. So it's best when they can listen and move, and then we plant the trees, and then everyone will be safe.
Awareness around the dangers of building next or living next to the banks. Awareness about dumping and other issues. How easy is this work of raising awareness? What challenges do you face? What are some of the issues you try to raise with the communities?
It's not an easy task, because you cannot come and tell someone to move from where he's been residing for quite a while. So it takes a while, and through the relevant authorities, we can get to them and maybe form some barazas whereby the awareness can be created, and then they can be relocated somewhere better to give space for our work on climate issues.
And what about any collaboration with other national agencies or international organizations?
Yeah, actually we've been closely working with Kefri also, who came to visit us, our nursery, and they also trained us on how we can establish nurseries and trees. They actually promised us some bamboo trees, and they told us why we need to plant the bamboo specifically along the riverbeds, because bamboos, they act as a filter. Yeah, it filters the depths, so the water that flows clean water.
You talked also about another activity in terms of the river cleaning. Maybe you can talk about that as well.
Actually, we are situated along the Ngong River, so most of our activities, we actually focus on cleaning the rivers on a weekly basis, and then we also plant trees along the river.
The president has recently mentioned that it will cost billions to clean the Nairobi rivers. How do you see your role in that?
Yeah, our role as community-based, we are actually the custodians in the moment of the spaces. So I will urge the government to involve more on the people on the ground, because they're the ones who know the logistics, and so they should come and work closely with the residents. We do a sort of public participation. We also have a chance to be heard on what we want, where, what to be done, where, how. Yeah.
Perhaps if you could tell us, along your work, is there any indigenous knowledge that you have come across that really works well and that you're using?
The indigenous knowledge is on the seed preservation method, whereby we collect the seeds and then we mix them with ash, and then we dry them, we sun dry them, and then we store the seeds so that we can reuse it again.
What are some of the best practice in terms of the climate adaptation and also building resilience that you've seen?
Actually, the good practice is on the cycle that we have in the farm. After planting, we can use the plants as forage for the animals, and then the animals, when they produce the manure, we return it back to the farm to fertilize the soil, and then it's a continuous process.
Wonderful. Salama CBO, do you have women in your group? What are some of the gender things that you're seeing as you are promoting the climate work that you're doing?
Our CBO comprises of all the members of the community, from the youths, both gender, male and female, and we also work with women closely on matters of climate. Like for instance, when we're cleaning the rivers, actually it's the youth, the men that goes inside to clean. After we have cleaned, so the women will come and collect the plastics and segregate them, go and wash them and store them for recycling.
In terms of even schools and education, what can you recommend to the government?
Yeah, my main recommendation for the government is to support these initiatives in the communities, like for the tree plantings, and I believe this is a culture that should be nurtured from a younger age. So if they can focus more on the primary schools, so that they can grow up with the idea of the issue of climate change is real.
You are interacting with the community, you are interacting with partners. Are you satisfied with the policies and legislation that we have? The
policies we have, and we have very good policies in Kenya, but now the problems usually come on the implementation part of it. Because there's no one to enforce the laws. So the laws just remain on the shelves and they don't do much on the ground.
And in terms of the way forward for you and the resources that you require, what are you looking forward to? How would you like to see? How much support do you require? How are you looking at the future for your organization?
In terms of scaling up, at the moment, we are doing our best, but we would like to receive more support, more capacity building, so that we can echo our voices more to the society and to bring them up to the reality of the issue at the moment of climate change, which is an impending disaster.
And what would be your last word as we wind up?
We have to come up to the reality of the times that we're living in, because we only have one earth to live. So let us take care of the earth that we have, and also protect it for the future generations that will come.
What would you tell other youth?
I will urge them actually not to wait for government jobs, because they don't come anymore. They can just go back to the first profession on earth, which was farming. Yeah, there is a lot of land, especially in Africa, not only in Kenya. There is a lot of vast unused land. So if we can use it, we can be feeding the world in the future to come.
Amazing, amazing. What's your last comment?
My last comment is we try to use what we have. We stop waiting for things to come that we have not put any effort on. We start working now for a better future.
What a powerful testament Our deepest thanks to Khalid Munir Mohamed of Salama Youth CBO for sharing these vital insights into their climate change mitigation efforts. I have been your host, Marceline Nyambala.
Thank you for listening to the Africa Speaking Podcast. Join us in our next episode, brought to you by Twaiza Communications in partnership with Forum Civ. For any comments and views, you can reach us through our website, www.africaspeaking.org. You can also reach us on Facebook, Twaiza Communications, or on our X handle, @TwaizaComs. You can also write to us on email, info@africaspeaking.org.